What's up guys, Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is catch-up time on my channel, because got a lot of shows to review, so time to start watching, time to start reviewing, hopefully before everything picks back up. I already know some shows have started again, but I'm working on it. So, first one to do, this is Librarians, Season 3, Episode 5, and the Tears of a Clown. And this was a pretty, I guess, interesting one as far as the fact that it's not really tied into the main overarching story. It's kind of its own little thing, and they did this the first couple seasons, or at least it felt like it. I think the first season probably was the best as far as you thought all of these episodes were just, these were just little simple episodes, they don't really tie into anything, and at the end of the season it's like, oh, no, it did tie into stuff. And this does have a bit to do with the overarching story in the fact that we're starting to see magic is really out in the world now. And so it's becoming a lot more apparent, it's becoming a lot more noticeable, and I feel like that's kind of where the story is going. It's becoming less a story of can they stop the magic from getting out, and it's now the magic is out, what do they do now? So this one is about a magician who apparently he got kind of left by a girl, he thought. I don't really know exactly what happened, but apparently in his little kid mind he sees this magician doing all these magic tricks for the girl that he was at the carnival with, and in his mind he thinks, oh well, she doesn't like me anymore, and then leaves. As it turns out, she was going to get tickets to go see the magic show for both of them, and he overreacted, and because of that overreaction, that led to this entire creepy thing where he created his own carnival using magic, and he's been trying to find her ever since. And yeah, it's kind of a very creepy sort of, this would never happen in real life, you would think, but at the same time you do know there are stories where people do get obsessed, and so it does seem plausible at least, but it is very creepy. And I kind of, the funny thing at the end was, he finally tells her what happened and why he was so upset, and then she's like, no, you overreacted, and she explains what actually happened, and then she's just like, of course, I really liked you. He's like, okay, so we can stay here together forever, and then she just rips the flower off. She's like, no, you're crazy now, and then gives the flower to them. And honestly, overall, I mean, I really did enjoy this episode. I think it was a really good one. The only thing I would say is a bit of a problem is the end, how it all ended, was a little too cheesy for me. I mean, it wasn't bad, but just the way he sort of, no, and then dives into the thing of wax going after the flower. I was like, really? Like, you would do that for a flower? You'd go into the wax to go get the, like, clearly the flower is gone if he actually threw it in there, which we know he didn't, because he just went like this and opened an empty hand. But either way, it just seemed a little bit too weird that he would kill himself trying to get this flower. But for whatever reason, that's how it all ended. It was a little bit goofy as well, the way they were doing the keep away thing. But I expect goofiness within shows, so I didn't really mind that part. It was just the jumping into the vat part that was a little too over the edge for me. But overall, I mean, this episode had some interesting moments. It had some really crazy, like, these moments where all of a sudden Jenkins is at the carnival looking for them. I like how they opened it with how we don't really know what's going on. We just know Jenkins is at the carnival and he's looking for everybody. And it's like, what happened to him? And then he goes in, and of course it was pretty cool how all of them, like, I don't know, it was weird seeing them as these carnival acts, seeing Colonel Baird with two heads, seeing Jacob be the strong man, seeing Ezekiel be the snake charmer, and Cassandra's a very good looking mermaid. What can I say? She's got red hair, she's really smart, she's attractive. It's right down my alley. Seeing her in a mermaid thing was, the dolphin thing would get a little bit weird, but I could overlook that. But yeah, it was fun seeing that little opening, how they got it all started. It was weird seeing them as all these different carnies. And so it set up for a good episode. There are a couple problems, though, that I think they didn't really address. The first one was it seemed like whenever we saw, I can't remember who saw what. I think it was Jacob was seeing this happen, but we saw a security guard or a cop, something. He shows up at the carnival. I was like, who are these people? And then we see the magician taking him into this tent, and it looks like he changed his head. So like we see these different looking clowns, and it looks like, oh well, he's, they've got masks on or something like that. Well, based on that scene, I would say no, he's actually changing their heads into these masks. But then at the near the end, whenever they're trying to trick him, and so they're getting on stage, they pull off the masks and put them on. I'm like, so where's the consistency there? Is he changing their heads into masks, or is he just magically putting masks on their head? Like, why the magic? Why is that there? That was confusing. And then there was one other thing. I can't remember what it was. I think it had something to do with the girl that he was looking for. I just thought it was weird that he was looking for this girl, and so he knew her name, but didn't know where she was. And as far as his obsession had gone, you would think that he would know everything about her. You'd think that he'd be tracking her all of these years, waiting for that moment where he finally became a great magician. So the fact that he lost touch with her, and then only now is like, oh, well, I'm going to go find her. Oh, crap, I don't remember anything about her except her name. I don't know, I thought that was weird. I just think if he was this obsessed with her, that he would create all of this, that he would do all of these crazy things to get her back. I think that he would know more about her to the point where he wouldn't have to go finding all of these different girls with the same exact name before he finally realizes, oh, this is the girl I'm looking for. But maybe that's just me. Maybe they did explain it and I didn't pay attention. But overall, I mean, it still is a very good episode. And it kind of goes along with the rest of the season in the fact that it's been fun, it's been exciting, it's been a little bit darker at times. I mean, there still are a lot of light, goofy moments in this episode, but there are some darker elements as well. I mean, just the thought of this guy completely going crazy and obsessing over this girl, that in itself is a lot darker than the show's gone in the past. So I think this is a good episode to continue on. I think it's good to show that the magic is out there, and the idea of new magical elements, or I can't remember what the term for it is now, but they're looking, artifacts. Duh. But they're looking for these new artifacts now. New artifacts are being created. That's a very interesting route to take. I mean, the fact that, we're not looking for this artifact anymore. There's no artifact that does this in the world. It must be a new artifact. That's interesting to see. I hope we get to see more new artifacts as the season goes on, because that's fun. So, yeah, I like where that's going. I like that they're tying this into the new season. I hope it continues as the season goes on. But, yeah, those are my thoughts on this episode. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What did you like and dislike about this episode? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Librarians reviews, and I will get to going on these reviews very soon. So see you at the next one. Peace out.